Hello, Battlefield 4, Phantom Project, Hunters, this is Noodle speaking, and I come to you today with a little bit of an observation about the ever so popular Kevin Simpson, 1942. This dude has just popped up on Battlelog, and he is all the rage. And I have a couple observations about this that I have not seen anyone talk about. I'm a bit of a history buff, big into World War II, big into just in general history of the last couple hundred years. So instantly I see Kevin Simpson 1942. 1942. Well, what the heck was going on in 1942? World War II, of course. Okay. So Kevin Simpson 1942 comes out right around the same time as we have this Naval Strike DLC come out. So I'm assuming that this has something to do with Naval Strike. I'm looking at the maps on Naval Strike, and I'm looking at one map in particular, Nasha Strike. That is pretty much the only map in Battlefield 4 that you can actually Google it and find a place in the world. It is an island in the South China Sea, and is a part of the, and I may pronounce this wrong, Spratly Islands. And in World War II, Japan occupied these islands after 1939, and they occupied them through 1945. So, that would leave 1942, Mr. Kevin Simpson, right smack in the middle of that. And actually, they use these islands as a submarine base, which is quite interesting. Because it was obviously a military base. Obviously, during World War II, Mr. Kevin Simpson obviously has something to do with 1942, or it wouldn't be in his name. Although it could possibly be 1942, the video game, which was a Battlefield thing. I don't know. Maybe something coming in the future where there's going to be something about, like maybe like a flashback to 1942. Hey, maybe Wake Island's coming back. Who knows? That could be a kind of, although Wake Island's quite a distance away from the South China Sea. And then we have the Kevin Simpson 1942.com. And this leads me to another possible observation about this, what it could be. And from what I know of World War II, the Japanese had prison camps. I've read some books about their prison camps and just POW camps in general, and they were awful. And if you go on KevinSimpson1942.com, you see what I would, when I first looked at it, I would assume a terrible Japanese prison camp would look like. We got chicken wire and just thin wood, and it looks like some cells, and you can definitely see locks on both of the cells. I'm not sure what that is across the ladder. Honestly, I thought it looked like a leg at first, but it's most certainly not a leg, like a mannequin leg, but it's definitely not. Kind of piece of paper, and if you look closely, there are a couple marks. There's a M and a Y, and on that bottle down on the floor, there's a, appears to be a 500. If you know anything about POWs, during military training, they teach them methods to communicate with each other, communicate to the outside world through specific messages, specific codes, symbols. Maybe those codes and symbols are part of that. Maybe those mean something, and maybe that is a clue to what the heck the Phantom program could come to a conclusion. But that isn't quite the whole story. It's kind of weird. Well, I thought that Mr. Kevin Simpson 1942 on Battlelog has some other weird things. He's been updating his little presentation daily here, and this latest one is, I have received the data, planets, maps, the mind, all different, yet the same. Explore, conquer, soon they will know. Phantoms, your mission is near the end. I commend your devotion to our cause. My future is uncertain, which led me to believe maybe he was a POW, maybe he got too close to something, he got picked up, and now he's in a POW camp, and he wants us to find it, so he's left us clues. Carry this torch, and don't look back. Always seek the wisdom in poetry. Poetry can sometimes be hidden things inside poetry, you don't know. It has served me well, but to find truth, you must accept what is in front of you. Carry on. This is your time. Tell the world. You must accept what is in front of you. Now that is something different. What is in front of us? We have all this information here. We have the planets, maps, the mind. This is something, I don't know. I can't really piece together. I do know during World War II, there was a lot of research on some really bad stuff, which dealt with maps, the mind. Everyone knows about what happened in Germany. And Japan was ruthless during World War II. And one more thing I found interesting. The only awards Kevin Simpson 1942 has on his game activity is 1 Conquest Flag Capture Ribbon, where you have to capture 2 flags in Conquest. Is that a clue? Does that mean that's what you have to do to unlock this special thing? I don't know. It's pretty interesting. And another thing to note is his dog tag collector. Maybe this could be something to do with dog tags. Maybe you have to kill a certain number of players by knifing them while capturing a couple flags. There's a whole big mystery that I'm sure the whole bunch of you who are searching for Mr. Kevin Simpson 1942 are going to unravel. Comment below what you think it could be. Comment below any tips that you may have found. On the one map, we have a secret door, which you can't get through, but there's a camera which locks onto you when you look at it, and there's voices saying, "Get away, don't come in." I mean, that's pretty creepy. Maybe Mr. Kevin Simpson 1942 is a scientist. Maybe he's done some research. Maybe he's behind that door and he screwed something up big that's going to come flying out of that door. Maybe not in this expansion. Maybe in another expansion. We don't know. But it's certainly interesting. But until next time, guys, my name is Noodle. Happy hunting. And always remember, use your noodle.